does that even mean, Bowers Game Club?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, another special Kickstarter review. And today I'm very excited to check out Scrambo, the dice game of quick thinking categories. This is for 2+ players, ages 13+. It'll take you about 15 minutes to play. And in Scrambo, this is a light party game in which one person is going to be rolling dice with categories on it, and then rolling a letter die and trying to match the letter with the categories as quick as they can. All the while, someone else is going to be rolling red timer die, trying to end their time before they can succeed. What am I talking about? Let's open it up and I'll show you. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Scrambo. So before we get started, I do want to mention this is the promotional copy I have in front of me, so take everything you see here with a grain of salt. So in Scrambo, you are going to be rolling up these category dice right here, rolling up a letter, and then trying to figure out as fast as you can something in that category that begins with the letter that you rolled. All the while, someone else is going to be rolling these timer dice right here, trying to end your time before you can complete your objective. What am I talking about? We'll go over the components, then we'll get a little bit into gameplay. So first and foremost, we got our handy dandy rule sheet. It's really just about one-page, single-sided, very well done. It'll have you up and running in no time at all. It's an incredibly simple game, and I can teach you how to play right now. On the back side, it's just going to have all the different categories, which you will be seeing on these dice right here. There will be 30 different categories on these 5d6 dice. Apps, board games, movie titles, comic characters, fictional characters, food, dog breeds, car brands, TV shows, all sorts of various pop culture-y kinds of things. Also, as alluded to a little bit earlier, you're going to have timer dice that one person is going to be rolling, and they're going to be trying to get it so that there will be 5 face-up timers, because when that happens, the person who rolled the white dice's turn is over, and they'll score points. Also, the person rolling the red dice could potentially score points as well, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later. Last but not least, we have a 20-sided die right here with various different letters on that, and you're going to be rolling this one to decide what letter all the things in your category have to start with. You might also notice that there's a star right there. If you're lucky enough to roll the star, you get to pick whatever letter you want. So, I'll show you exactly how the game is played. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to decide who's going to go first. That person is going to get the 5 dice, and they're going to roll the 5 dice and look at their categories and read them out loud. So we have politicians, we have, which one is this one again? We have U.S. cities and states, we have culinary dishes, aka food, we have board games, ooh, like that one, and then we have fruits and vegetables. So now that we have established all 5 of our categories, we're going to roll this dice. And as soon as we roll this dice, we're going to begin. So the person next to us is going to grab these 5 red dice, and as soon as we get a letter, so we'll be doing the letter N, they are going to start rolling these red dice as fast as they can. Whenever they get some clocks, like so, they're going to put those over to the side, and then only roll the remaining dice as they attempt to get all 5 clocks. When they get 5 clocks, they'll yell, "Stop." So, at this point, you are going to tabulate up how many points the person who rolled the white dice got. So let's just say they got 3 of their categories correct. They got food, or they got culinary dishes, food, they got vegetable, and they got board games. They couldn't think of a city, they couldn't think of a state, they couldn't think of a politician. So they would gain 3 points. Also, the person rolling dice, since they were able to thwart their opponent from getting all 5 points, will gain 1 point, and then the dice will both move onward. Anywho, you're going to continue to go until someone gets to 10 points, or until you decide to end the game, at which point whoever has the most points, whoever gets to 10 points first, will be the winner of Scrambo, and that in a nutshell is how the game is played. Alrighty then, Scrambo, coming to a Kickstarter near you very, very soon. I'll be sure to post that Kickstarter link down below. What are my final thoughts? Go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. Obviously, this is a very light party/family get-together type of game. There's no real strategy whatsoever in this game. You know, if you're rolling the red dice, you're rolling as fast as you can. If you roll the white dice, you're thinking of categories that begin with letter as fast as you can, and that's the only real strategy in the game. Also, it says 2+ players. I don't know if I'd really want to play it with more than, say, 6 or 7 players, just for the fact that there's going to be some major downtime in between your turns. Now, they try and mitigate that by having one person roll the red dice and one person roll the white dice, but still, there can be downtime in between turns, which could be a little bit annoying. It's not a huge downtime, because the game's really quick, but it is something that I did want to mention. Also, I wish the categories were a little bit better sorted on the rule sheet. Because right now you have 30 categories. That's a lot of categories. You're supposed to read them out before you roll the letter die, but you still, from time to time, forget one of the categories on the die, and then when you try and consult this sheet, there's no real rhyme or reason to the sheet. And you're just like, I can't find the one I need, but the person next to you is rolling the red dice as fast as they can, and it's just an added little nuisance. It's not a deal breaker, but it is something that I did want to mention. I'd like to see maybe if they could do it color-coded or something like that. I'm not sure if it's possible with custom dice, but still something that I did want to mention. Any other cons that I have with the game? Oh yeah, if you don't like stress and pressure in your games, this one might not be for you, because when you roll those white dice and the person next to you starts rolling those red dice, it is stress and pressure. And normally it'd be pretty easy to think of these. But okay, this begins with L, this begins with L, this begins with L, this begins with L. It sounds quite easy, but when the person next to you is rolling those red dice, and you see out of the corner of your eye, like, oh no, one more red dice, and I lose, I don't get the points, and I only get 3 points, or I only get 2 points, and you start freaking out, and then your brain goes blank. Some people don't like that stress and pressure in games. I personally do. I personally enjoy that aspect of the game. Some people do not, though. It is something that I wanted to mention. Any other cons I have of the game? No, nothing I can think of. Moving forward, Scrambo is a very enjoyable, light, simple party/family get-together type of game. And what I like about this game is it has very broad categories. It has a lot of categories, which is great. 30 categories is a lot of categories, and they're broad. You know, you got like movies, actors, board games, ice cream flavors, food, mythical creatures, music, stuff like that, that everybody's going to know at least quite a few of them for the most part, which I like. There's only a couple that are a little bit too specific for my liking, like politicians and dog breeds, but for the most part, the categories and the amount of categories are very nice in this game. Also, it's very easy to learn, very easy to teach. I mean, you can teach this game in literally about 30 seconds, which is always a good thing. Also, the game tries to keep more than one person involved, with the other person rolling the red dice, and there is incentive to rolling those red dice because you want to finish before that person gets that, because you gain a point yourself. So there's definitely incentive for the person rolling the red dice to be active and trying to roll as fast as they can and not on their phone or something like that. Any other cons any other pros I have for the game? No, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's simple, it's light, you have to know that going into it. But overall, I enjoyed Scramble, the dice game of quick thinking categories, and I can recommend it if you're in the market for a lighter weight game. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. If you had a cow, what would you name your cow? For me personally, I would probably name it something food related. I feel like that's really cliche though. Everybody always names their pig bacon or pork or something like that. But I feel like I'd probably name my cow, I don't know, medium rare or something like that. But what would you name your cow if you had a cow? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.